Scott Baronic,
Nate Capa
hitting you up.
with the workout of the day.
This is Scott and Nate. We're coming at you with the workout of the day.
Today's workout is squats.
Tell me a little bit about squats and why we do them, Nate.
So a lot of people think, wow, squats, this is a big, heavy exercise. This is something that, like, bodybuilders are going to do all those things.
Up on the rack and power them up.
Right. But, I mean, I, for one, like to get up out of chairs every single day. How about you?
I love it.
Every single time you sit down and get up, you're doing a squat. So that's why this is such an important exercise, is because this is going to help propel you from the chair to standing up. It's going to help when you do stairs, on level ground, lots and lots of different things. But a squat is something that's fairly challenging once you lose an ankle.
Yeah, well, and especially if you haven't walked or stood up in 8 to 12 weeks.
Right.
I always say to people, this is where we start to talk about muscle groups, and we say your legs, your quadriceps are the biggest muscles in your body for a reason. And when we don't use them, we really start to notice it, and they deteriorate fast. So getting that strength back up again is very important.
Right.
And this is a good way to do it.
So why don't you go ahead and get into a squat position and show a traditional squat position. So a traditional squat would be toes fairly forward, maybe a little bit externally rotated.
Do we want to do that and then show the adaptation?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And then, feet just a little bit wider than shoulders.
You'll demonstrate
and
then how the weight's being distributed unnaturally in the socket.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, as you can watch, when Scott goes down here to do the squat, he's not able to keep the prosthetic foot flat on the ground here. See how he's all on the toe? When he's up on the toe, where do you feel that in the socket, Scott?
I feel all my weight on the front of my bone where the tibia is, and right back here, there's a nasty pinch point in the back of the prosthetic socket.
And so these are the areas that we're trying to protect on your leg.
This is a good reason why somebody who wears a prosthetic limb would want to avoid wearing doing squats.
Right.
And I would also recommend that if that's how you're doing them, not to do them at all.
Right. So the adaptation for this, so that you can keep the foot level on the ground, is...
So before my feet were straight like you would normally be in a position, you would go down, okay? So another thing that might happen, you see people do this with a prosthetic limb a lot. I used to do this, something we talked about with weight shifting earlier. All of a sudden you shift over to your sound limb, okay? That's not good, that's not safe. So instead of standing and going like that and having the weight distributed in unnatural positions, twist your feet out.
So he's widening his heels. So his heels are now even just a little bit wider than his shoulders, even more wide than his shoulders were before, and his toes are pointed outward. So now as he goes down...
So Nate's going to demonstrate how the weight's being distributed. And I just want to point out for everyone watching this, I'm not exaggerating this at all. This is just natural, and this is how different the weight shift is.
See how his foot's able to stay flat on the ground? See how the prosthesis is basically, for all intents and purposes, straight up and down? Now that's keeping that pressure off the cut end of the bone, which is a real kind of a tender spot typically.
So you can see too, my feet were narrower and the heel started to come off the ground. So you widen your stance, okay, and you point your toes outward. And what you really want is so that when I go down into that position, everything's parallel.
Now Scott's real low here. Scott's down to 90 degrees there. That's great, but that may be scary for balance. So go ahead and demonstrate. So one thing we really recommend is, have a counter, have a tabletop, something that's nice and secure.
Kitchen sink.
A kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink is great.
Yep,
because you got enough of a little handle that you can get your hand in there and get a grip.
And it's usually anchored pretty securely too. So you can use that to kind of anchor yourself. Again, but going down that far still might be scary. So what we recommend at that point, I don't know if we're going to fit the chair back there. Remember when I said that, you're doing this every single time you stand up or sit down? Get a chair. Have a chair there. Now you're not
So if I fall.
Right. And there's no reason to not even go down, take your squat all the way to the level of the chair. Now Scott's pretty tall for this chair, so it's not really demonstrating that it's keeping him in a better position. But for most of us, when we have that chair there, we can go just until we touch the chair and then use that as our reference. Okay, I've gone far enough. Now I can go back up. If you start going down past 90 degrees, it can really put a lot of unnecessary strain on your knees. That's again, now we're talking about real bodybuilder stuff, not something that we're really into or trying to teach here.
No. And another thing that's important to note, I'm showing that you can go into a lower position with the adaptation and the weight transfer is still safe, but I want people to note if you're new and you haven't been using those muscles, or you haven't been squatting or anything, and you're starting to exercise, and you're going this far, this is still working, okay?
Right.
And again, like we talked about, no one's sitting there going to be standing behind you, judging your form, telling you you're not doing it right. You're using those muscles, and what you want to do is you're conscious of where your starting point is. So you're pushing yourself beyond your own starting point. Again, you're competing with yourself. You're not competing against us on this video,
Right.
or anyone else who's, doing these squats. This is about making things better for yourself, strengthening your muscles, and improving your gait.
Right. And if you really want to worry about that range of motion with the chair, you can always, if this is as deep as you want to go, if this is as deep as you feel safe, you can always do this. Come back to the chair. Go back down. Help yourself to here. Now stand up. Now you're actually making yourself work through the full range of motion, but you're not putting all that strain on your lower back. You're not putting yourself in an unsafe position or doing something that you think make...
you don't want to pull other muscles trying
Exactly.
to strengthen or work on something. And if this is new to you, like anything else that's new, you want to give your body time to catch up.
Right.
So
Very good.
do it.